Ole Miss Lady Rebels are facing the Gonzaga Lady Bulldogs. This is going to be an interesting game. The Gonzaga women aren't quite at the level that the men are, but they're still pretty good. Lisa 48, this is her first head coaching job. She was an assistant before. She's been there since 2014. She's taken them to the Sweet 16 twice. Gone into the WNIT a few times. Made it to the NCAA most every year except for the two WNIT or WBIT. They keep changing the name. Um, he takes them, and she wins the conference tournament, regular season, and both on a fairly regular basis. I mean, her teams are really good. But this year, I would say, even though they're a 12 seed, they're 24-9. They're going up against Gillette McPhee-McCuin, who is 23-11. The Gonzaga Lady Bulldogs have not beaten a Power Four conference team at all this year. Whereas, the Bulldogs, they did have a four-game losing streak there for a little bit, but they've beaten quite a few good teams. They beat Vandy twice, beat Mississippi State, beat Oklahoma, uh, beat Notre Dame. So they've got some quality wins on their record, unlike Gonzaga. But it's Gonzaga. They're also the West Coast Conference champions this year. In other words, hey, this is a team that can win their conference, can play competitively, and does play competitively, but just hasn't this year has not been able to win against a Power Four conference team. So we're going to take a look at this by the numbers, as I always do. You know how I am. And we're going to see exactly how this should end up. Let's get to it. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball, and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it. Since the Zags are the lower seeded, we're going to start with them. They score 73.9 points a game. They're 53rd in the nation for that. They allow 64.5 points a game. 45.3 field goal percentage. Not bad. They're 33rd in the nation on that. 76.3 free throw percentage. 38th in the nation on that. 38.4 3-point percentage. Second in the nation on that one. 7.1 3 points made per game, 17 assists, worked really good as a team, 27th in the nation on that. 36.3 defensive rebounds, 40th in the nation on that. 16.3 turnovers, so they're 247th on that. 2.2 block shots, 312 on that. And they steal the ball 7.2 times. Now, if you're going to talk Gonzaga, you got to talk Lauren Whitaker, who leads in points and rebounds. She's a forward, so not a surprising stat. 26.4 minutes, 19.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.3 steals. So she's a 15-10, a double-double machine. Point 0.4 blocks, 2.6 turnovers, though. 55.3 field goal percentage, 37.1 3-point percentage, and 80.5 free throw percentage. Really good shooter. Turns over the ball a little too much, but she makes up for it with her 15, the 19, almost 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. So 2010 is a really good thing. There's only a few players that have that ability, and Claire Strack is another one of them. Allie Turner leads in assists, 33.6 minutes, 14.4 points, 2.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.2 blocks, 2.6 turnovers, 44.4 field goal percentage, 46.7 3-point percentage, and 95.1 free throw percentage. Another amazing shooter. Zariah Ayacuso? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that woman's name correctly. 23.7 minutes, 8.6 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 0.7 steals, no blocks, 2.5 turnovers, 41.5 field goal percentage, 32.6 3-point percentage, and 80.9 free throw percentage. Jaden Hale, 19.1 minutes, 7 points, 6.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.3 blocks, 1.1 turnovers, 53.8 field goal percentage. She's a forward. Note she doesn't shoot 3-pointers, she doesn't shoot 3-pointers, and 50% free throw percentage. Now, when you look at this team, hey, their top couple of players, really, really amazing when it comes to shooting. Then you start getting into it, and it's just like, man. Now, they do have Ines Betancourt that's stealing 1.5 times a game. Taylor Smith, the forward, leads in blocks with 0.5 blocks. They don't do defense very well. They've got some defense. They wouldn't be where they're at if it wasn't for defense, but still. But you've only got two players scoring in double digits. The player after that's at 8.6. You've got five players that's turning over the ball more than two times. The top three players turn it over freaking like it's just ridiculous. You're talking it's just plain long ridiculous. So yeah, for a team like Ole Miss, this is going to be interesting. The Ole Miss Rebels, let me tell you, 75.4 points scored a game, 37th in that. They only allow 62 points to be scored against them. Now, they have a worse shooting record than the Zags. 43.3% field goal percentage, 79th in that. 74% free throw shooting, 101st in that. 246th in 3-point percentage, 29.4. 5.1 3-points made per game, 280th in that. They only have 14.2 assists, 110th in that. 35.4 defensive rebounds, 58th in that. 13.4 turnovers a game, though, 69th in that. They have 4.9 block shots a game. They're 22nd in that. And they have 8.1 steals. If you're going to talk Ole Miss Lady Rebels, Cody McMahon, 30.5 minutes a game, 19.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, 3 assists. She leads in points and assists, by the way. 1.1 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2.8 turnovers, though. 45.1 field goal percentage, 28.6 3-point percentage, and 72.6 free throw percentage. Christine Iwuala leads and rebounds. She's in there 27.3 minutes, 12.7 points, 8.4 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.6 blocks, 2 turnovers, 60.6 field goal percentage, but doesn't shoot 3-pointers, 70.6 free throw percentage. She's a forward, so all that makes sense for her. Latasha Lattimore leads in blocks. She's a forward, 26.7 minutes, 10.9 points, 6.3 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.6 steals, 2.1 blocks, 2.1 turnovers, 48.3 field goal percentage, 31% 3-point percentage, and 70.9 free throw percentage. Sierra Theanu leads in steals, 28.4 minutes, 9.3 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, 1.2 turnovers, 36.5 field goal percentage, 26.9 3-point percentage, and 80.4 free throw percentage. Let me tell you something. A lot of these stats are not that good for SEC play. For Power 4 conference play, it's not that good. But this is a solid team. They need to work on assists. They really do. They need to work better as a team. They've got to work on the turnovers. When you've got 3 players over 2 turnovers, at least it's not as bad as the Zags, but their shooting percentage. This is what's going to be a weak point for them in this game. Your leading scorer, 45.1 field goal percentage. He's a forward though, but 28.6 3-pointers on 3-point percentage. You might want to let somebody else take that over. You've got Kiana Thompson, who is a great player, in there 14.8 minutes at 41.9% 3-point shooting. This team needs to work on 3-point shooting. Hopefully that's what they've been doing all this time. Field goal percentage, it is what it is. Or free throw percentage, pardon me. But field goal percentage, you've got at least Christine Iwuala, who you can count on for a bucket. Latasha Lattimore, good for a bucket. Not bad at 3-point percentage. Jayla Murray, who's in there, who scores 2.6 points a game, 9.1 minutes, is at 48.4. You've got to work on your shooting. That's what teamwork and shooting is what I would have had this team doing. That and not turning over the ball so freaking much. This is what I would have been working on before this tournament. Okay, looking at ESPN, they're saying that Ole Miss has an 86.5% chance to win this game. The Zags have a 13.5% chance to win this game. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not too far off from them. It's going to be a hotty-toddy game in Williams Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is. It's going to be a hotty-toddy game. They've got the defense to hold the Zags down. If they haven't been working on their shooting percentage, then they failed. They've got to work, like I said, they have to work on teamwork. Can the Zags get a chance at this? Yes. For the simple fact of if they play smart basketball, put the shots up when they need to put the shots up. Both of them are rebounding halfway decent. Zags, their defense is what they needed to have been working on while they've been waiting after the West Coast Conference championship game. They tore through that. They beat Oregon State, beat uh, Santa Clara. Before that, though, they had lost in overtime to Portland, 92-91 in overtime. They did a good job against St. Mary's, did a good job against Pacific, but you're looking at this. Ole Miss, they're competitive. They handled Vanderbilt twice this year. Auburn, well, that is what it is. But they lost to Florida, lost to Texas A&M, and they couldn't get past Texas in the conference tournament. 85-68. Ole Miss has got a lot of weaknesses. It isn't necessarily going to show up in this game, but they need to be working on what those weaknesses are if they want to get any further than the round of 32. That's the way I look at this. I like Ole Miss. I like McPhee-McCuin. But Lisa Fortier is a dangerous coach. There is still a chance for the Zags to win this game just for the simple fact that Ole Miss needs, if they don't work as a team, if they don't get their shots in correctly, this is going to be a problem game for them. But we'll see. I want to hear what your thoughts are. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, folks, before you leave, if you can't become a member via my YouTube channel, which that's for my thinker, I've also got sports. I've got a Patreon. If you really, really want to help me out, I would be much appreciated. But hey, hitting like, hit subscribe, hit commenting, all those things really help me out. Have a good day.